So we're now into your top two, Matt.
Top two. Number two, big game now for number two is Grand Theft Auto Vice City.
Okay.
Because I played, I remember going around my friend's house and he had GTA 3 and playing that for the first time and sort of him showing me oh, you can get in that car, you can drive in that car, you can steal in that car, like driving around and think, what's this? Like, this is just madness. And having, I had the original sort of GTA and played GTA 2, which was London, wasn't it, or whatever. And
they were the ones where you had the
air ones. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And they were cool, and they were good in how rebellious they were. But sort of the 3D element of it, I'm like, wow, this is just mad. Yeah. And absolutely loved it, but never got it because that was on PS2, I think, wasn't it? The 3. So yeah, and then sort of forgot about it. And then when Vice City came out, I think it was just that the whole theme of it being set in like a fictional Miami, and it's almost like Miami Vice, the film, and the 80s setting. And the music and that everything were coming together with it, and you had really big actors like Burt Reynolds doing voices, and who is it that does Tommy Vercetti, the main character? He's a really big actor, and I can't remember. Ray Liotta from Goodfellas.
Yeah.
So yeah, you've got all these huge actors. You think, wow, I recognise that voice and that. The levels were great. The characters were great. Everything about it, I just remember being completely absorbed. And like I was in my 20s then when it came out, and it was the first game for a long while. Sitting, I had it on my PC at the time, just sitting there, just playing for hours and hours and hours of that game. And yeah, and even you'd catch yourself. It's funny. It was one of the first games. Because you could just casually drive around or whatever it is. There are certain
side stories as well.
Exactly. There's certain things like the song "Broken Wings" by Mr. Mister. When I hear that song, it reminds me of driving around Vice City in the evening, which is one of those weird things that instead of reminding you of of old friend or something like that. It triggers an in-game memory, and just moments like that, and it's the first time that sort of thing happened. It's just so cool.
But that's go off on a little bit of a tangent here, but music in games is such an important thing now, I think, because and we just touched upon it with like FIFAs, like you would discover new band, like there's music that I listen to now through listening to it on FIFAs.
Yeah.
But you just touched upon it with the music in GTAs. When you'd get in a car and flick through the different radio stations, there were certain stations I would always listen to because it was the type of music I was into.
Yeah.
Even there's one game that always sticks with me because it got me into The Offspring, which was Crazy Taxi.
Yeah.
The music in that.
It's got an awesome soundtrack.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
And I'll literally hear them songs now, and I'll know them like word for word because of playing Crazy Taxi. But GTA, I just think when you look at now, like the maps, because I think as the games went on, it might have even been Vice City, which was the first one that came with a map poster.
No, the first one did. Because I remember playing the first one and needing to go somewhere, and that was one of these defining moments as well. Needed to go somewhere for a mission and opening the map up and thinking, right, well, I'm here and I've got to go there.
Yeah.
Madness. But I remember... Go on.
No, sorry, go on.
I was going to say, I remember me and Paul playing, Paul was on the show last time, playing Vice City around the same time together. We'd be getting the bus to work or whatever, and we'd be talking about it. And then someone would be like, "You talking about Vice City?" I'm like, yeah, you're playing that. And it was such a big game at the time. Have you done that level? No, I'm really stuck on that. We'll try doing this. And mad.
Well, I mean, mad. That would, if I was more able to put FIFA down from time to time and focus on some other games instead of family and things like that.
What a drag!
Oh God. Then that would have definitely been probably in my top 5 because I've got. I played Vice City. I think I had the London one. I don't think I ever had the first one. London one was on PlayStation 1, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, in the first.
And I've got San Andreas.
Yeah.
That was the last. Was that the last one?
No.
What was the last?
You had Vice City, then you had San Andreas, then you had 4, then you had 5, which was the last one.
Well, yeah, I definitely had San Andreas. I don't think I had 4, but I definitely got 5. And again, I think I got pretty far in that, and then got distracted by FIFA again, which seems to always be
the trend,
the curse of my gaming life. But I've made a vow to go back to these games and try and finish them off. So
I finished all of them.
You finished all of them?
Well, apart from I finished Vice City. San Andreas I never finished, and it goes back to what we were saying last week about hard games.
Yeah.
There was a level on San Andreas where you had to fly. It was this geeky guy, and he had these little these planes, and you had to stand on the roof and fly these planes, which I think had bombs in them. I hated it. Like I played that level so many times, and it just wouldn't work. It was just impossible, and because of that level, I gave up on the game. And I think I may be wrong in saying this, but I'm sure I'm right. When they re-released the game, they amended that level because it was so bad. Yeah. But yeah, completed 4, completed 5, and with that whole series, the sort of Vice City was what got me hooked, and I would buy, like for San Andreas, I bought a PS2 just to get San Andreas, and played every single one, and that for me they just got better and better and better. And the thing that's put me off the game, and it shouldn't really because I've not really looked into it, is it's now very much an online thing, and I just love playing the story mode on it, and they did different add-on packs for 5 as well, and those sort of things. I absolutely love the stories and the characters, but now I think because they earn a huge amount of money off the online side, they focus more on that.
Yeah.
But who knows what 6 would be if they do in a 6th one.
Yeah.
When they're going to take it, it'd be amazing.
Yeah. I still get updates to say download this new, add-on for GTA. So. Well, my number 2 is Metal Gear Solid. Now, the reason I picked that is I really love the game. I know we joked about it last week with all the cutscenes where it's just like watching a film. But one of the fond memories that I've got with it is probably, other than a few racing car games, because my dad's really into racing games, it's one of the main games that me and him kind of done together.
Yeah.
And, I've got really fond memories of us mainly arguing about it because no, you could go that way, no, do this, and it's it's just funny thinking back to it. And I only had, I think, on PlayStation 1 and 2, I can't remember whether they were both on both or whatever, but Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2, and then I had, which we completed together, I might add for certain listeners, but I did. Mark gave me Metal Gear Solid 5, which is on the PlayStation 4, so I didn't play any of the other ones in between. But I've got, and a bit like what I was saying about Grand Theft Auto, it's one of them ones, and I think I got stuck on like about 10 minutes in because it was so. The problem with the new one, it's so dark. I couldn't see what I was doing, and other than turn the brightness up, and I was just like, what the hell is going on? It's telling me to try and find something that I couldn't even see, as far as my gun. So that game's all about stealth anyway. So you've got to kind of sneak around as it is. But yeah, I think they kind of cranked up the darkness on it. But yeah, Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2, and the characters, the bosses that you had to kill off. There was, I just remember like the diazepam that you had to take to steady your rifle or your sniper while you're shooting. There was a female baddie on this kind of snowy area. I can't remember the names or anything like that, but you had to have the diazepam. And I remember just being stuck on that for ages. you know, but there was always, and what I liked about it, you know, that kind of element of if you did get stuck, you'd let your dad, or I remember Mark coming and helping me on certain ones, you know, and it was kind of, you felt like you'd done it as a team, which was really good. So yeah, that was an awesome game, and we had other games around the same time. There was a game called Splinter Cell, which was another one very similar, a stealthy kind of one. That was really good, but I just don't think the story of it was as good as Metal Gear, which I believe is still going. I think there's going to be a new version of that. I think Mark actually sent me some news that they're going to, when on PS5, they're going to re-release the first one as a remastered version of it. So that could be interesting.
Yeah, it's a whole game franchise that I've completely missed out on. I've never played any. I've sort of experienced, like, watched someone else, like I was saying last week, watched someone else playing levels and experienced it that way. But yeah, just through being through that period of not having a PlayStation, I think I missed out on the whole thing. Yeah. But I did play Splinter Cell again on the Xbox, and I quite like that. You've got to climb through a hole, and you know there's a bloke there, and you're sort of going past him. It's quite fun, isn't it? Yeah. That sort of thing.
Yeah, and there's a whole load of games like that. I think the Rainbow Six games, aren't some of them? They're kind of stealth ones, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think so.
But for me, yeah, I just loved everything about Metal Gear.
Thank you for listening, transmission over.